Okay, let's talk about job interviews. For so many of us, just the thought of one is enough to make your palms sweat, right? But what if I told you that you could walk into your next interview feeling not just ready, but actually confident? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. How to flip that anxiety on its head and turn it into a performance that lands you the job.
So, here's the game plan. We're going to start with those first four words that trip everyone up. Then, we'll build your winning formula. We'll look at the most common interview fails so you can avoid them. After that, we're tackling the big one, talking about money. And finally, we'll wrap up with your personal negotiation playbook. Stick with me, and you'll be ready for anything they throw at you. All right, let's dive right in with the big one, the question that starts pretty much every single interview. Now, it's supposed to be a warm-up, but honestly, this is where a ton of people stumble right out of the gate and blow that crucial first impression. And there it is, those four little words. Tell me about yourself. You know, they're meant to be this easy icebreaker, but for most of us, it causes one of two things, a total mental blank or a rambling nervous monologue. But it doesn't have to be that scary. In fact, this is your golden opportunity, your first and best chance to grab the steering wheel and drive the conversation where you want it to go. So you might be wondering, why do they even ask this? Are they trying to trick you? No, not at all. They're actually giving you a softball. They want to see a few things. Can you communicate clearly? Can you organize your thoughts on the fly? And really importantly, does the person behind the resume seem like a good fit for the team? They're looking for a quick, confident highlight reel, not the director's cut of your life story. Okay, so instead of that moment of panic, what if I told you there's a simple, almost foolproof formula to nail this answer every single time? Let's get into it. It's called the present, past, future formula. And the name says it all. The whole key here is to keep your story focused squarely on your professional journey. It's super easy to remember, even when you're nervous, and it makes sure your answer is sharp, to the point, and actually interesting. Just remember those three words: present, past, future. That's it. So here's how it works. It's so simple. First, the present. You start with what you're doing right now, your current job, and a big win. Next, the past. You give them just a little bit of backstory, like how did you get here? And finally, the future. This is where you tie it all together and connect your story directly to this job, right here, right now. Boom, you've just turned your entire resume into a powerful 90-second story. Let's look at a real-world example. See how this works? It kicks off with the present. I'm a customer success manager, and hits them with a killer metric. My 2022 churn rate is 0. Wow. The past is quick, after 5 years, gives context. And the future makes it all about them. I'm ready to bring my expertise to a rising startup like Globe. It's sharp, it's confident, and it's tailored perfectly. Okay, so knowing the formula is great, but sometimes the best way to learn what to do is to see what not to do. So let's talk about the big interview fails, the traps that so many people fall into. First up, we have what I like to call the resume reader. This is the person who answers "tell me about yourself" by, well, basically reading their resume out loud. You know, I graduated from here, then I worked there, then I went to this other place. And here's why this just completely falls flat. The interviewer has your resume. They've already read it. They're not looking for a narration. They're looking for the story behind the bullet points. What did you learn? Why did you make that career move? This kind of answer adds absolutely nothing new to the conversation. It's a huge missed opportunity. All right, on the total opposite end, you've got the oversharer. This is the person who gets a little too personal. They start talking about their hometown, their hobbies, maybe their favorite Netflix show, or why their rent is going up. And look, a little personality is good, but this is a major fail. Why? Because it comes across as super unprofessional and, honestly, a little clueless. The interviewer's number one question is, can this person solve my problem? Your Netflix queue doesn't answer that. A good rule of thumb: keep it about 80% professional. Stick to the story of you, the pro. And this really gets at the bad advice floating around online, on places like Reddit or Quora. You'll see people say, "Oh, just talk about your hobbies. They already have your resume." Or, "It's a dumb question. The interviewer's just lazy." But the reality, what experts and recruiters will tell you, is the complete opposite. They want you to connect the dots from your resume, and they see this question as a vital test of how well you can communicate and tell a compelling story. Okay, so you've absolutely crushed the intro, you've answered all their questions perfectly, you're feeling good, but there's usually one last challenge, the final boss, if you will. And for a lot of people, it's the most nerve-wracking part of the whole thing, talking about money. Get this, a whopping 55% of American workers, that's more than half, don't negotiate their job offer.
They just take the first number they're given. And honestly, this is a huge, huge mistake. Because what you agree to now doesn't just impact today's paycheck. It creates a ripple effect for your entire career, setting the bar for every future raise and job offer.
I mean, the stakes are incredibly high. Even a few $1,000s left on the table now can multiply into tens, even hundreds of thousands over your lifetime. And here's the crazy part, the thing most people don't realize. Good companies expect you to negotiate. When you don't, it can actually signal a lack of confidence.
So how do we do it? Don't worry, you don't have to turn into some aggressive, hardball negotiator. It's not about that at all. It's about having a simple, professional playbook so you can calmly and confidently ask for what you're worth. And here's that playbook. It really all boils down to 4 steps. And step 1, research, is the absolute most important. When you use sites like Glassdoor to know the market rate for your role in your city, you're not just pulling a number out of thin air. You're building a business case. Then you politely sidestep any early questions about salary. When you get the offer, always, always ask for a day or 2 to review it. And finally, you come back with your counteroffer, backed up by all that great research. It's about facts, not feelings. And hey, here's a little pro tip for you. Don't forget the whole package. A great offer is way more than just the base salary. And if they tell you the salary number is firm, the conversation is not over. That's when you can start talking about other things. Maybe more vacation days, a budget for professional development, a flexible work schedule. These things have real value and are often way easier for a manager to get approved. So when you really think about it, it all comes back to one thing. From that very first question, tell me about yourself, all the way to that final salary number, an interview is about telling your professional story. It's about showing your value. And now, you have the playbook to do just that. Your story is valuable, so go get paid what it's worth.